Hey everyone, welcome back for another deep dive. You ready to do deep on this one?
Always.
Awesome. So today we're diving into the life and work of Mary Shelley.
The author of Frankenstein.
Yep. But we're going way beyond just the monster. We're going to uncover what made Mary Shelley tick.
Yeah, like what made her write this iconic novel?
Exactly. Now we've both done a ton of research on this.
Oh yeah, we're going deep.
So get ready, because you're not going to hear this stuff in your average high school English class.
It's gonna get interesting.
Right. Like, did you know that Mary Shelley's parents were like total rock stars of their time?
Seriously.
Her mom was Mary Wollstonecraft, the feminist icon
Oh.
who wrote A Vindication of the Rights of Woman.
Yeah, and her dad, William Godwin, a
Yeah.
super radical political thinker.
Can you imagine growing up in that house?
Wow, the dinner conversation.
It must have been intense. But here's the thing. Mary's mom died just days after she was born.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so tragic. It makes you think, right? How did that loss, that early experience with death, shape her writing?
Definitely. Especially with Frankenstein. It's all about creation, loss, responsibility.
It's like she was wrestling with these huge questions from a very young age.
It's all there in the book.
Now, fast forward to when Mary's 16. She does something pretty wild.
Let me guess. Elopes.
You got it. She runs up to Europe with this guy, Percy Bysshe Shelley.
Wait, Percy Shelley? As in the romantic poet, Percy Shelley?
The one and only. But here's the kicker. He was already married.
Oh, wow. Talk about scandal.
I know, right? And to make things even spicier, they brought Mary's stepsister along for the ride.
Seriously?
Yeah, total scandal.
So this is where that rebellious streak we've been talking about comes in?
Totally. She was defying all those societal norms.
Just like her parents.
Exactly. It's like she was born to challenge the status quo.
And that totally comes through in Frankenstein, too.
Right. Like the whole idea of creating life, pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
It's all connected.
So Mary and Percy, their life was a roller coaster. They struggled financially. They lost their first child.
That's so sad.
It was. And then in 1816, they end up in Switzerland with this whole crew of literary superstars, including Lord Byron.
Lord Byron.
Yep. And this is where things get really weird.
Weirder.
It was the year without a summer. This massive volcanic eruption had happened, and it basically blocked out the sun.
Whoa.
I know. Gloomy, dark, kind of spooky vibes everywhere. And they're all stuck inside this villa.
Because of the weather.
Yep. So, to pass the time, they start telling each other ghost stories.
Oh, I love this part of the story. This is where Frankenstein is born.
I got it. Mary has this crazy dream about a scientist creating life.
And bam, the idea for Frankenstein hits her.
I know, right? It's like a perfect storm of creativity, a
Yeah.
gloomy atmosphere, brilliant minds, and one woman's crazy imagination.
It's pretty amazing.
Now, here's something else. When Frankenstein was first published, it was anonymous.
What?
And some people even thought Percy Shelley wrote it.
Wow, they must not have known Mary that well.
Exactly. But here's the thing. The themes in Frankenstein, super relevant, even today. Ambition, isolation, the whole what could go wrong with unchecked science question.
Right. It's kind of eerie how relevant it is to our world now with all this talk about AI and genetic engineering.
Totally. Like Mary Shelley was basically predicting the future.
Amazing.
But Frankenstein is more than just a warning, right? It's a story about what it means to be human
And the responsibility that comes with creation.
and the consequences of our actions.
Definitely. But Mary Shelley's life didn't end with Frankenstein. Percy died tragically in 1822.
Oh, yeah, drowned in a boating accident, right?
Yeah. And after that, Mary went on to edit his works, but she also kept writing.
Like she really became a literary force in her own right.
Totally.
Her other novels, like Valperga and The Last Man, those are pretty intense too, right?
Oh, yeah. She tackles some heavy stuff. Societal collapse, plague, the end of the world.
Sounds kind of familiar, right?
It's a little too familiar. It's like she had this amazing ability to tap into these timeless, universal fears.
She wasn't afraid to challenge the status quo, just like her parents.
It's in her DNA.
So what's the takeaway here? Mary Shelley, she was so much more than just the author of Frankenstein, right?
Absolutely. She was a complex, brilliant woman who had a lot to say about the world.
And her work, it's still relevant today.
Definitely.
It makes you wonder how she would feel about all the crazy advancements we're seeing now.
Right, like with artificial intelligence and all that.
Would she be excited? Terrified?
Probably a little bit of both.
That's the thing about great art. It keeps us thinking, questioning.
Absolutely. It makes us look at the world in new ways.
And that's exactly what Mary Shelley did.
So if you've only read Frankenstein, I encourage you to check out her other works.
Yes. There's a whole world of Mary Shelley waiting to be explored.
You won't be disappointed.
Until next time, keep diving deep.